Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan Anderson. Thanks for listening. This episode may seem a little aimless to people who aren't familiar with me, but I want to make this episode for kind of the true fans. And kind of funny enough, a little bit of made for myself. I want to listen to this episode in a year or 2 years, or listen to this episode in 5 years and be like, wow, that was like pretty accurate, or wow, I completely went the total opposite direction of what I said I was going to do, or have some kind of like future insight on that. But I want to talk about where I see myself career-wise, where I'm at now, where I want to go, why I think I'm at this point now, what I claim to be versus what I actually am. I'm here in Baton Rouge, currently working for Tommy's TV. They've given me recently the new title of new media producer. So that's in charge of like digital content, social content, everything like non-traditional TV commercials I'm kind of in charge of, vlogs, podcasting. When I started that job, and also just like in life, I aim to be a cinematographer. I like cinematography. I lean towards camera technology. I like the hands-on application of cinematography. I like being able to convey emotion and to tell a story with image alone. I've always found that fascinating. So that's the ultimate goal. Put it on the website, cinematographer Jordan Anderson. Also put content creator on there, and I want to try to stay as true to those things as possible. I don't want to just do the fake it till you make it route of things. I mean, I am definitely guilty of fake it till you make it. I think a lot of people are guilty of fake it till you make it. Guilty may not be the right word because I don't always see that as a crime. Sometimes pretending to be something, you actually become that thing that you were trying to be by pretending to be it. If you want to be a confident person, if you want to be a happy person, sometimes pretending to be confident or pretending to be happy eventually leads you down the path to actually reaching those goals. So I want to be a cinematographer, but here's kind of what I see cinematography as right now. It is what I thought of cinematography 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago is completely different than what the actual career path of cinematographer is today. Short films, feature films are drastically changing. If you're not in Hollywood, if you're not in New York City, what do you do if you want to still be a cinematographer, but you don't have the access or ability yet to work on feature films or short films? Well, you make internet content. You make commercials, you make documentaries, you make everything that falls short of those big, massive, behemoth pieces of short films, feature films. So that's what I'm going at. Like, I can't get access to a feature film right now. I can't get access to making a short film right now. So I'm doing the best I can, still getting experience as a cinematographer. I'm working on documentaries. I'm working on mini doc series. I'm working on internet commercials, TV commercials, vlogs, YouTube content, YouTube web series. And I don't hold myself in contempt for following that path, because how I see cinematography as a career is that the best cinematographers to this day, right now, working in the field, are over the age of 55. And the ones that aren't over the age of 55 are just naturally gifted talent that they just wake up the next day and they're just good at cinematography. There's no build up, there's no need for 20 years experience. You can jump 10 feet and dunk. Natural ability, that exists. So same with cinematography. So the best ones are over the age of 55. So I'm 24 years old right now. Age 55, age 60, age 65 is 30 plus years away. So what I'm going to do in these 30 years leading up to being a Hollywood cinematographer, I'm going to work. I'm going to find every project I can. I'm going to find every opportunity to work with a camera and every opportunity to storytell with a camera, with lighting, with cinematography that I can in the meantime, and just see that it's a big picture. See that it's a it's a 100-mile race and I'm only at mile 20, and I got, and I'm worrying about, and I'm thinking I'm a failure because I'm only at mile 20, but I know I have so much road to go. I have so much room to travel. I'm not going to get bogged down by that. I'm not going to get, whatever you want to call it, in 55, by the time I'm age 55 or older, but I'm age 24 now, I'm going to work my ass off every single day in the moment to try to reach that, even though I know the goal is so far away. So that's where I'm at with cinematography. And that kind of that motivates me in being a little more patient. I'm not as desperate for things. I'm not making short-term decisions. I'm moving chess pieces very slowly, very methodically. I don't feel this I don't feel this desperation that I have, I have to reach my goal. I have to be a great cinematographer by the time I'm 25. There's that timeline doesn't exist. That's a fake timeline. So how does that change my career now? Knowing that, I just see that the path is so I see that the path is a long journey. And so what that means for me now is that I can taste a few different flavors of careers on my way to becoming a cinematographer. So I'm in internet content right now. I'm in documentaries. I may go towards marketing and working for a digital ad agency, or being the in-house video producer for a digital ad agency or a company, or be the video production department or marketing department head of a company, a creative agency. And that way it still gives me time to be a cinematographer, be a storyteller, work with a camera, but also tell a story in a different way or to a different audience. And I can go down that path and I could say, well, I'm not really into this. I'm not really into corporate marketing. I'm not really into being on a team in a digital ad agency. I really much prefer a video production house, or a true production house, since I don't have, this whole corporate thing is not really what I was going for. Or I may love it, and I may be like, this is what I really wanted to do. I could still be a cinematographer, but just in a different capacity. Side by side, you and I can both light it the same way a cinematographer would, but you had the classic true title of cinematographer. I had the classic true title now of video production of marketing, or whatever the hell it's you want to call it. I'm allowed to go down these different paths. And that's the cool part. I can go down these paths, I can try these different flavors, and if I don't like it, I can just get right back on the track to being true video production, true cinematography, and keep chipping away at that until I'm age 55. It's I have so much time. But I see it as I never know that I would like it. I never know I would like to work for this company or work in this capacity if I don't try it. And to just say I'm going to follow the traditional cinematography path, I'm going to do the same thing that cinematographers did in the 70s and the 80s. I'm going to follow that path, work my way up, work into the camera department, and then get there and be totally, just be completely detached from the current zeitgeist, the current, ignore the fact that it's 2017, that it's 2018, and say you know what, I'm just going to do the old traditional way of becoming a cinematographer. And maybe that's the right way to do it. Maybe that's the wrong way to do it. Or, personally, I think that's probably the wrong way to do it. I just want to keep my options open. I don't want to just be so closed-minded and be so career path driven that I'm blind to opportunities, or I ignore certain opportunities because I was focused on one thing when I really should have been focusing on another. Yeah, I don't want to get too myopic. Being a cinematographer is the ultimate goal, but I don't want to be myopic to other opportunities, because I've made that mistake already at the age of 24. I've been too myopic. I've closed off networks, I've closed off opportunities. I see those opportunities bear fruit, and I'm just kicking myself saying, wow, had I been a little more open-minded, or had I been considerate of that opportunity, then that could have actually been a part of who I am today. But instead, I got to focus on this. I'm trying to be a cinematographer. I don't need this. This is not going to help me in the future. Don't be too myopic, guys. Don't like focus on your goal in the macro, but in the micro opportunity, in the micro sense, in the day-to-day, the month-to-month, don't think long-term when you hear an opportunity come up. How does this affect you in 5 years? If you took this opportunity now, what are the positive things that this opportunity could yield? So if you're just getting out of film school, if you're still in film school trying to figure out what you want to do, or that you need a job now, or if you're a few years out of film school like myself, you've worked in the industry a little bit now, and you're kind of 25, 24, you're in this purgatory sense where you're too experienced to be the low man on the totem pole. You're too experienced to be a production assistant, but you're not experienced enough to be in a manager leadership position. It's that catch-22. You must have 5 to 7 years experience, and you need that experience to get that experience or to get that job. If you're in that situation, just kind of look broadly. Don't close yourself off to potential opportunities, especially a filmmaker, storyteller. You have a lot of different ways to go about this. There's no one true path to being a filmmaker, to being a cinematographer, producer, vlogger, YouTuber, social media influencer. There's no one right way to do it. I'm gonna stop it here. I think this puts a nice little end to this chapter. Hope to listen to this episode in a year and maybe even 2 years to see what I was thinking. This is what I'm thinking now, and I'm curious what my opinion will be in a year, in 2 years. Maybe I'll do a little side by side. But guys, I want to thank you all for listening. Hope this wasn't too much of a ramble, but it's important to be open to some opportunities, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any filmmaking issues, or if you're trying to figure out your filmmaking career, send me a DM on Instagram at Jordan P. Anderson. Let's chat. I don't mind helping out any way I can. And again, thanks for listening. My name is Jordan Anderson. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast, to the vlogs, and we'll see you next time.